On the 25th of April, around 8:15 a.m., a Viking DHC-6-400, also known as the Twin Otter, operated by the Royal Thai Police, crashed into the Gulf of Thailand. But what really happened to the Twin Otter that crashed around 1 kilometer north of Hua Hin airport? The aircraft itself had just undergone major maintenance, and it was in the process of a test flight in preparation for a parachute training exercise. 5 officers of the Royal Thai Police perished at the scene, with 1 further police officer perishing at a hospital nearby. The aircraft, a Viking DHC-600-4, was fairly new. It was purchased by the Royal Thai Police in 2020 together with 2 other Twin Otters at the time. Now, the Twin Otter is known to be a very reliable airplane and has very low stall speeds, which makes this incident so much more surprising. When it comes to low speed handling and reliability, the Twin Otter is in a league of its own. Compared to similar aircraft like the Cessna Caravan, the Pilatus Porto, even the legendary DHC-2 Beaver, the Twin Otter matches or outperforms them in stall speed, with the ability to fly safely at around 50 knots with flaps deployed. In real-world operations, it's celebrated for its forgiving natures, recovering easily from slow flight conditions that could challenge other aircraft. Add to that its track record of rugged reliability in some of the harshest environments on Earth, and it's clear why the Twin Otter is trusted for missions where failure simply isn't an option. Crashes involving this aircraft type, especially from a stall, are exceptionally rare. The aircraft itself was based at Don Mueang Airport and had recently undergone maintenance to the wing strut, which is actually a major and not a regular schedule maintenance, and it also underwent some maintenance on the control stick assembly, which is critical for pitch and roll control. And as mentioned earlier, the incident happened during a testing flight after this maintenance. Even though there have been several airworthiness directives and service bulletins issued for the Twin Otter series since the aircraft entered operation, none of them appear to be related to this crash. For example, there were bulletins requiring inspection of the aileron, internal structures for cracks and corrosion, checks on the rudder pedal torque tube quadrant for looseness, and inspections related to the potential binding and fuel control unit push rods. There were also service bulletins addressing corrosion prevention inside the fuel gallery. However, none of these known issues involved the wing strut or control stick, the 2 components reportedly repaired on this particular aircraft before the crash. As of now, it seems that the maintenance performed was based on locally identified concerns, and there is no evidence suggesting a broader manufacturing or design flaw that would have directly caused this tragic incident. On board during the incident were 3 pilots, 1 engineer, and 2 mechanics. The flight experience of the pilot is not disclosed at this point, but he is well known to be a very experienced pilot. But being a senior officer in the Thai Royal Police would mean he'd have several thousands of hours of flight experience. So this incident is very surprising and very unlikely to be a pilot error, because the Twin Otter aircraft is a very, very reliable short takeoff and landing aircraft with stall speeds as low as 58 knots clean, meaning with no flaps, and 50 knots with full flaps extended, meaning it can fly very slow in comparison to similar aircrafts, giving the pilots a lot of time and control during takeoff and landing. Witnesses said they saw the aircraft take off normally and have a normal climb before then suddenly going into a nosedive with no apparent attempts to recover the aircraft, meaning there might have been a complete loss of vertical control. So the Twin Otter is designed to handle stalls very gently. A vertical nosedive is extremely atypical unless there's a loss of pitch control, meaning an elevator failure or jammed controls, or a structural failure, for example a wing or tail component breaking under load. The pilots were highly experienced, the weather was good. This rules out many typical crash causes. Now, considering that the control stick and the wing strut underwent major maintenance just before this test flight, it's very likely that the maintenance was done incorrectly, or there were some structural issues that weren't seen during the maintenance, and these 2 issues could have caused, for one, the control stick could have caused the plane to go into an uncontrollable vertical nosedive, and a damaged wing strut could have caused further structural damage on the fuselage, or it could have caused structural asymmetry. Both of these instances could have caused an unrecoverable loss of control. From what we can tell based on the available footage, even though it's quite grainy and missing the critical seconds before the nosedive, it appears that both wings remained intact during the descent. This slightly moves us away from the theory of a wing strut failure and instead points more towards a control stick or elevator issue as the more likely cause. Of course, at this point, this is all still speculation. The aircraft does not seem to enter spin, and And judging by the rapid rate of descent, the altitude at the time of the nosedive, and the fact that the pilot was highly experienced and could have recovered from a stall, a technical defect in the flight controls seems the most probable explanation. So right now, the investigation is on the way, with the police chief actually arriving on the scene shortly after the incident. Right now, the investigation is focused on, for one, the black box and the cockpit voice recorder to get some idea of what actually happened during the incident. Investigators are also reviewing the maintenance records to see what work has actually been done on the aircraft and who performed the work. The National Police Chief is personally overseeing the investigation. All in all, given the track record of the Twin Otter, its really good low-speed performance and the experience of the pilots, I think it's very likely that this was not a pilot error and this was not attributed to the performance of the aircraft, but it actually had to be some issue related to the maintenance of the aircraft. Right now, this is all the information that we know about this incident, and I'm sure more information will be coming out over the next few days. If you have any theories, let me know in the comments down below. If there's any new news that you saw, please share it in the comment section down below, and we'll do an update to this video very, very soon. As with the previous video I made about the incident with the helicopter in the Hudson River, this is very, very early in the investigation. The incident just happened a few hours ago. So over the next few days, we'll be learning a lot more about the incident, what really happened, and what could have been the cause. But to have a final verdict, it probably will still take a very long time. If you're new around here, please hit that subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy these kind of incident reports as well. And if you want to see something a little bit more uplifting, there are a few trip reports on this channel as well, like me flying Qatar Airways on different aircraft models and recently trying the cheapest business class that I have ever experienced. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.